Welcome back to Midday. Mark Bertoli joins us. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Enjoying the weather?
I am.
Good.
I just came back from Mexico, so I brought it with me.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. All right, so let's get right into this. We're going to be talking about the Canadian markets, and this is the first quarter. So
yeah, I
let's
thought it'd be a good
bit.
idea to recap the first quarter, what's happened, and maybe look at last year as a whole and take it from there. So I sent over a couple of slides to take a look at.
And want to get right to them?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's do that. So this is the quarter. We started at about 13,000, dropped down to just over 12,000 about the 15th of January. And people were going, oh my goodness, what kind of a year are we starting with here?
Right.
I think we're down like 7 or 8% in the first couple of weeks, and people got emotional. So here we are at the end of the quarter, and we're up to 13,400. I think we're up about 3 or 4% for the quarter. So there's a lot to be learned by that.
Right.
So
the markets usually move like that quickly?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But the key is keeping your emotion out. So I did a little summary of last year in the different sectors.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, S&P 500 in the U.S. was down 0.73. Consumer discretionaries, that's things like Crest and Tide, and that was down 3. Metals and mining were down 48%. Energy negative 26. Financials negative 6, and our Canadian market last year down about 11%.
Wow.
What I did to contrast that was the first quarter. Up to yesterday, you can see the mining, for instance, was hit the worst, but is also up 24% year to date. Canadian markets up 3.2%, and so I guess part of that is a little bit about managing emotion.
Right.
Even though, you know, if you got caught in the metals and mining, a lot of people, when you're down 48%, are very tempted to sell and say, I'm out of this.
Yeah.
But they would have missed that upturn. So I thought that this recent volatility in the first quarter and what happened last year would give us one more opportunity to learn something from the market. So I just brought up a couple other charts here that examine this. So this is looking at returns since 1975 in our market. So 40 years. If you did nothing and just stayed invested and didn't get emotional, it made about 10.7%.
Right.
If you missed 10 weeks of that, only 10 weeks in 40 years, you cut your returns to 7. And if you missed 30 weeks out of 40 years, you would have been down to about a 3.4% return. Wow. So there's a very strong message there about it's about time in the market, not trying to time the market or getting emotional about that. So we had a great learning opportunity last year and in the first quarter of this year. So let's just skip to the next slide here.
And there's never really a perfect time to ever get in.
I had a great meeting in Calgary recently with someone I really respect in this industry. He said the best time to get in was 10 years ago. Yeah. The second best time is today. Right.
But is that looking back? Not at the time knowing, right?
You never know. You just have to have a strategy that works for you. Yeah. So here we look at different times, and it says time heals all. 1 year volatility, and the green bar is the Canadian market. You could go to a negative 15%. And as you can see, 5 years out, the green market barely goes negative. At 10 years and 20 years, there's no negatives in it at all. So again, market, the time heals all. And the last slide I want to show you is quickly one. This is a slide of you and I. Okay. You've got time. So the first slide, the person made contributions for 10 years and quit making contributions. And then an older guy like me started later on in life, the gray bar. And I had to make contributions the rest of my life just to keep up with what you did in your first 10 years. Right. Time is a powerful tool. And again, it's about consistency over time in investing.
Let's get in when you can.
That's it.
Yeah, because then you'll benefit
start today,
more. Yeah, exactly. You'll benefit more in the long run the earlier you start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, explaining that to everybody. A little bit of information, some lessons, good lessons there. Excellent. All right.
Go Blazers tonight, right?
I know, exactly.
There we go.
All right. All the info on the screen for you there if you'd like to get a hold of Mark and his team. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
All right. We've got more Midday coming up for you right after the break.